everything else that was hacked recently. They didn't make a big deal out of that. I'll be honest. I think if he did have something, they would have released it. They would have been glad to release it. I don't want to take advantage of something. I have something that others don't have. I don't like the way that looks, but I would be able to do that if I wanted to. I'd be the only one that would be able to do that. If we wanted to, I just don't want to because I think that would be a conflict. We're doing them a tremendous service by doing it. We are going to build a wall, and people will go crazy. I don't blame them for what's happened. I don't blame them for taking advantage of the United States. I wish our politicians were so smart. They had one meeting. Nobody knew. Not even Rona, my executive assistant for years. She didn't know. I didn't tell her. And that's because we have no defense. That's because we're run by people that don't know what they're doing.
So I don't remember how it goes. It was like the chicken dance, right?
Yep. How many weddings I've had to listen to that at? Yeah. Photographed.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
Why at a wedding? Why would you do?
Oh, that's like Midwest.
Yeah,
Michigan, middle of the wedding, break out into the chicken dance song.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that.
That's because you're down south.
My favorite was my uncle is part of the German club in Louisville, and there's a big German club here in Evansville as well. And so the Louisville chapter comes over for German Fest every year, and German Fest is a huge thing. Like it's a big deal.
When is that?
I can't. It's like in
you need to tell me.
Late summer,
October,
early fall.
That's when they do German stuff.
I know. I need to go down there. I need to.
I don't know. It's like
hook up with my fatherland brothers.
The like the Evansville Fall Fest is the second largest street festival in the world, right behind Mardi Gras. German Fest is just a little bit smaller than that. Like it's a pretty big deal. But anyway, my uncle, the Louisville chapter, gets like invitations and stuff, and so he and a bunch of the guys came over, and me and Stephanie and my brother came up, and we all met him there and got in on their invitations, like to the big, like the VIP party part of it. And they had a live band playing and everything. And when they busted out into the chicken dance, the whole room gets up and everybody just like floods to the stage, and it's just a big chicken dance festival. Like it is fucking awesome. Bunch of drunk Germans doing the chicken dance.
Heck yeah, man. I grew up with that. That's old hat for me. It's a Midwest thing, Trey.
We always did it at like the skating rink, you know, and then I've definitely been to a couple weddings that have done it. One of which I think was very likely the one I went to in Wisconsin. But it's all the classics, you know, the electric slide and the you know, all those types of things. A lot of times they'll break them out towards the end of the night, I think, depending on the DJ.
All that black music.
Yeah.
We not the cha-cha slide, the electric slide.
Yeah, but you know
the same thing.
No,
you know, the socially acceptable in the, you know, the white people realms, you know, the real modern day Snoop Dogg kind of stuff. You know, Baby Got Back, but not Baby Got Back. But, you know, just as an example, something that's may as well be white people music now.
Yeah, well, you got to start out with Bust a Move from
Bust a Move. Yes.
You got to start with Bust a Move.
Yep. I mean, if it's a white people wedding, it's gotta you know.
Dude, Old Wayne will slay Bust a Move at karaoke. Just saying, I've seen it.
Oh, I need to see that.
It's good.
You got to record that next time.
If it's a white people wedding, it's probably gonna have "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift or something like that.
Oh, I guess I haven't been to any recent weddings since that song came out. I'm going to a wedding in August.
We usually go to a wedding at least twice a month. But I'm paid to be there.
Regular old wedding crasher.
Yep. Go on, Justin. Sorry.
You'd have to pay me to go to my own wedding. My first wedding, I tried to get it canceled. Her dad was like, I'll give you the money if you like, I'll give you the money for the wedding if you just don't do the wedding. I was like, yes, let's do this. Fuck this shit. I don't want to do a wedding anyway. And then she got all pissy. She's like, I already bought a dress. I was like, we can sell that fucking thing.
Wear the dress.
It's like, yeah, wear the dress. We'll go somewhere. Like, we'll go on vacation somewhere. Wear the dress there. Like,
Wear the dress. Vacuum the house while you're wearing the dress.
Your dad is
Well said.
offering money.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. Obviously, that should have been
clothing.
that should have been the final red flag that she was a poor choice. Like, foregoing money for a fucking wedding. Anyway, and then Stephanie and I didn't even do a wedding. We had a barbecue in our yard, and her granddad did the wedding in the carport. So I singed my eyebrows off. It was fun.
Nice.
Fun times, yeah. I'm not a big fan of weddings. I've already told Katie, I was like, I will 100% give you, like, whatever money you plan on spending on a wedding, I will just give you the money if you don't do it. And like, she's like, really? I was like, yes. I was like, I know a wedding day seems like a big deal, and if you want to do it, cool. But if there's any way I can convince you not to, I will just give you money in hand to not do it. She's like, okay, I can absolutely do that. And like, of course, this is my kid. She's going to take the money and run.
I mean, it would be smarter than spending $25,000 on a wedding. Like, just take that and use that for a down payment.
Yeah, but when you're dealing with women and emotions, like they want to have that experience.
See, I've raised my daughter well. She does not operate in the realm of emotional thought all the time. She does do things emotionally from time to time, but usually she is very much the look at it, think about it, and then decide what's the best actual. She's my kid 100% through and through. The other one I'm not so sure about, except that he's 6.5 feet tall, so I guess I have to claim him. But
The dude who invited me to his wedding was sure to say, when he texted me, like, get my address for the invitation and stuff, he's like, oh yeah, we're getting married. He's like, we'd love for you guys to come. Open bar. It's like, cool, you got me. he knows the way to my heart.
That's the selling point, yeah.
All right. Well, it's actually close to me. It's like close, like any event that we would go to in like any nearby city. This wedding is actually closer to us by somehow. It's only like an hour away. So I'm like, oh man, yeah, dude.
Well, question though, Dag, is it when they say open bar, like, because I've heard this both ways. Some of the open bars still charge like per person or whatever. Still keep a tab.
I mean, I might be a little disappointed if that was the case, but not like we're not going to give them money anyhow. Give them money for the the wedding and stuff, but wedding presents and the such. But yeah, it better be knowing them. There'll be booze flowing. If not, so it's one of my best friend's little brothers. It was a couple of years. He was old enough still to be tagging along and partying with us, and this and that when we were in high school. So we tight like that. But yeah, if nothing else, me and like my best friend, like his brother, we'll be providing a lot more than booze, I'm sure, at that party. We'll have. I'm not really worried about not being hammered, one way or another, for sure.
It's gonna be lit either way, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Weddings are like kind of lame, but like, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy me a good wedding. I like an excuse for a party. So as long as it's not fucking boring and it's a fucking party, I'm down. As long as I know at least a few people there.
Like sad wedding, like the very sad weddings. Like
yeah, sad wedding would be weird, right?
Well, I mean, there are those some that they're like, like, oh, this is like a super, serious thing or whatever, and so they approach it like super serious, and then it just ruins the whole vibe of it, because
I could see that. I've been to some real serious funerals that are real buzzkill, So when I was 19, yeah. Well, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, when I was 19, I had a great aunt that died, and she lived in Texas. And I'd maybe met her once. And, like, my dad and my aunt I don't think they wanted to go all the way to Texas, so they sent me and my cousin, who were the same age, to Texas to go to the wedding and to chaperone my grandma, basically, because my grandma was like 80 something, only had one lung, kind of shit. Still kicking though, good old tough Texas broad. But we had to chaperone her there, and so we're like, cool, man, we get a trip to Texas. Of course, me and my cousin are going to get into trouble. My dad already told me which relatives to talk to at the thing to get pot, all that shit, So we're meeting a lot of like long lost cousins and extended family we've never met, hanging out, good time. But my grandma, who would sometimes be a little serious and dramatic, I remember her getting upset like multiple times throughout this like long weekend or week or whatever that we were there because everyone was having too much fun, like people weren't sad enough. Like, this is supposed to be a funeral week, celebration of life, whatever, and she's like, people aren't like sad enough. We're like, who cares? Like, is that what you want? Is everyone to be like crying? I mean, I guess at your funeral, that's what we'll do. We'll all be crying and mopey, if that's what you want.
Fuck that shit. If
Ding dong.
If all of this does actually kill me, if all this does actually kill me, and I have a funeral, y'all are all expected to be there, and if there's anybody crying, you have to smack them in the back of the head and call them gay. Like, that's not.
Oh, we're gonna be wearing the retard shirt in honor of you.
Yeah.
No crying.
We're all wearing our retard shirt at your funeral. That's a pact right now. Any of our funerals, everybody has to wear the retard shirt.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, man. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, okay, the funeral, the part at the church or at the viewing, if there is one of those, God forbid, that part, okay. That can be not slalom. That's the ski thing. What am I looking for?
Solemn.
Okay. Okay. That,
You have to go down ski hill at the funeral.
Yeah, but whatever the event is after, like, okay, I have another friend and his little brother fucking killed himself. At the thing, at the church, solemn, but the fucking thing afterwards, the event right afterwards, dude, me and his dad are having fucking drinks and laughing. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of part of
point of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of getting over shit is you got to be able to fucking.
Well,
live,
the actual
live again.
Like, I get the actual
honestly,
like
to
service
the
of the
people-
funeral, like that. Cool, have that. Like that can be chilled, but like have fun afterwards and enjoy it because like
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they would have wanted. And if that's not what they would have wanted, I don't know that it would have been their friend in the first place. So.
yeah, right.
Yeah, like I get it for the funeral itself, the actual service and the carrying the casket and lowering them into the ground. Yeah, all of that, I get it. That should be a solemn moment. But the visitation, like, don't be coming through, like walking through all sad and shit. Like that, the visitation is when you're supposed to be sharing stories with each other about all the fucked up dumb shit you did and how you can't believe any of you are still alive, and what a pussy that this guy went out first. Like,
I want something like this at my church part of my funeral. Someone to come in and do a weird some sort of weird art show with raw chickens and diapers.
Some interpretive data.
Now they'll just bring in at yours. Somebody's gonna bring in a chicken or a goat and just slaughter it right there.
That or you'll see a bunch of chickens in the back row, like nodding. Like, fuck yeah, got his ass.
Finally, that bastard died.
they finally have closure.
Oh, we got to do an AI picture of that Dag's funeral and have the chickens all like nodding in approval.
Oh my god.
This was something the German president and I think some like church like officials were coming to some, I don't know, some event at this this church that part of a May 15th celebration to mark the 1250th anniversary of Westphalia, a region in northwestern Germany. And so they invited in some people to do some performance, and it turned out it was like this weird artsy thing with raw chickens and diapers. It reminds me of the American Dad, the Abraham Lincoln play that the guy did, and it was like he ended up like throwing meat at the audience or something. It was just some weird artsy thing. Reminds me of that, but they're all like super like apologetic, like, sorry, we didn't know what the content of the thing was when we invited all these Paderborn Archbishop Udo Bentz. I don't know what the hell that is, but that sounds important. Ask them for an apology as well as
It's
penance.
German.
Yeah, I don't know much about. Is this Catholic or some sort of?
I thought it said
What's the other
Catholic
thing that
Church
looks
up
like
there.
Catholic?
It's Catholic,
Is it
yeah.
Catholic?
It says Catholic, yeah. It says Catholic
Okay.
Church in the first or second line.
Okay, okay. What's the thing I'm thinking of? That like Greeks and shit.
Greek Orthodox?
Yeah, Orthodox. It looks a lot like Catholicism, but actually has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. That's because
Yeah, they got-
Catholicism broke off, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I remember looking it up at one point because I was like, oh man, they got a lot of the showmanship kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The swinging basket of incense and the
Yeah.
gold and the
Yeah, that's
all
what the
that.
Catholics stole it from.
Gotcha. Good times.
Yep.
Yeah, but like the the people who are super serious about funerals though, I find that they're always the ones that like have the hardest time to like move on from like,
Yeah.
there's-
That makes sense.
there's-
Well, those are the people that 25 years later they're posting on Facebook that it's their dad's birthday, and it's like, dude, I'm sorry. Like
yeah.
I get it. It sucks, but seriously, man. Like,
Dude,
Well,
that
there's
dude-
actually literally this girl that was like a couple years younger than me at my high school. She died early from cancer, and the parents like they were all super serious, and everything. And now they literally dude, it's like once a week they have to say like, hey, this is her. Remember her doing this, and they've got just like they'll post a picture of whatever she was doing on that day of that particular part of the year of like, oh, she would have, and every, like you said, every year it's like
that's the
It would've
worst part
been-
about Facebook memories is it brings that shit up, and then you're like, now you're posting about it and annoying all your friends, like because you had a picture of somebody when they were alive and now they're dead, and now you're gonna post it every year that they were doing something on that day. Like they were
Yeah.
breathing today. It's like, yeah, we all are. Sorry. Sorry, they're not
that
breathing
being
anymore.
reminded of your cringe ass political post from 12 years ago. Oh
Yeah.
God, I said
Although-
that.
Although
We're
I
gonna
had a
delete
good
that.
I had a really good one pop up in my memories. Didn't I share it with you guys in the chat?
Not sure.
Damn
Hang on, I got the chat active. Let's see.
Dude, it's funny you say that about
me
the
find it.
memories thing, though, Steve, because my stepmom is like, dude, she's the sweetest fucking person. Like, the world's better for having her in it, and people like her in it. Sometimes she's very hard to deal with, but like, she has like 30 fucking animals, and like, if one of them dies, she's like in mourning for like 2 weeks.
Oh my
She's
God.
just, whatever. But dude, every one of her parents' birthdays, it's like a 5-paragraph post about their life and how great they were, and all these pictures and this and that.
Pull it up, Justin.
Again,
I put it
it's
up.
not me, but it's just so funny that you made that fucking connection because it's so fucking accurate, dude. She is the type who would not have fun at a funeral.
So this is from the first time Trump didn't have a war that he was going to plan. So this popped up in my thing the other day, and I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, okay.
I was crying. This is from the first time he was in office. I was laughing so hard I was actually crying.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, that was a good Facebook memory to pop up. But
Yeah, every
yes,
now and then you
when-
do get one super poignant, which is awesome. You're like, oh
When-
man, that aged really well after 8 years.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
problem is like when a lot of my libertarian ones pop up, I'm like, like, what the hell was I thinking?
I've had Facebook long enough to where some of my liberal ones still pop up.
Oh wow.
I know, dude. It's
Steve
crazy.
sees some of his. He's like, God, who is this fag posting online? I can't
And the Fed.
I mean, it's a good message, just nobody cares.
Yeah.
Trey, thanks for representing today. I saw that earlier.
Representing today.
Yeah, look down at your shirt.
Oh yeah. I got that.
I was like, hey,
Oh, nice.
represented.
Yeah, Fox and Sons.
Well, when we went to
It was either
We went
that
to a
or
concert.
the retard shirt today.
we went to a concert a few weeks ago, and I almost wore the retarded shirt, like it was like in my hand, and I'm like, dare I, And now after
That was the
having
modest
been-
mouth, though, wasn't it?
it was to Modest Mouse, and it's not even that it was to Modest Mouse. It's that it was at Disney Springs. And that was my big thing of why I didn't, because it's really like weird there. And I'll give you an example. I don't think I told the story, but you can just buy beer and walk around with beer, like no problem. And there's no signs anywhere about smoking or vaping or anything. But the wife says, "Oh, like I wonder if we can like vape," and I'm like, "No, like you can't." I'm like, "There's a designated section somewhere that's unmarked, way off that you have to go to vape." And like I just know this. Like I didn't.
You can't even vape in public?
I just know this. And she's like, well, I don't see any signs. I'm like, I know. I just know it's Disney. That's how Disney is gonna be. And she's like, well, I'm gonna hit my vape and see what happens. We're walking, bro. And down, just down a fucking walkway. She pulls out her vape, hits it, dude. She's not even done taking her first drag. And somebody like accosts her and goes, excuse me, miss, I'm sure you didn't know this, but we're actually, a vape free and blah, 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 blah. There are locations you can go to vape, but you have to get the Disney Springs app, and then then you can find them on the app.
What if you don't? I mean, seriously, what if you said I don't have a phone?
TSA?
You're probably not getting in that place.
They have their own TSA. Dang.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's very like
Dang.
Orwellian there. For
Do they
sure,
just come out of like the ground?
Just like,
Dude, it was a woman, and she almost looked plain clothes, but she had a badge, and she was just walking by, dude. This wasn't even like she like emerged from the bushes. Like it was like she was just happened to be walking by. I swear. Like I want to say it was coincidence, but it wasn't. It couldn't have been coincidence. It was just how perfect it was with that
it
first
was
track.
probably her rounds. She was.
I mean,
making
as
her
much
rounds.
much as I appreciate, like if that was smoking, I appreciate it. The vape, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
in public, like just walking around, I don't care about the vape, but like I can see like if you were indoors, like I sometimes indoors when people just like there's like multiple vapes and multiple smells, like yeah, I can see someone being a little bit like Hitler.
Once I was in the concert, I was vaping like a motherfucker, but it was crammed as a bitch in there, so they couldn't. They weren't kicking nobody out.
I like the ones that are they're like, this is a tobacco-free campus, and like I got a dip in, like it's literally hurting nobody but me. Like you can fuck off with your tobacco-free campus.
Well, we walked into my father-in-law's in the hospital. We walked in the hospital, and it's like I got my knife on one side, and something else in another pocket.
Check my knife.
And it's like there's like this is a weapon-free zone. I was like, why? So I can be like, so I can.
So you can get shot.
Like it's a pocket knife. It's not a weapon. It's a tool. Go away.
Yeah.
My hospital, and I can give like TSA. I've had knives get through several times just because I didn't realize I had it. But at the hospital, they took my pocket knife off me. They just check it, give it back to me when I leave. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Super polite about it. Very cool. And another time, it was like a little key, like on my keys, a little thing. Like I don't even know how they even realized it was a knife. Like it doesn't even look like a knife. I totally forgot it was like on my keys. But they found that and held that one for me too. But yeah,
when I went in for my kidney stone, they were going to do the I don't know, where they put you in the thing and the little thing spins around you to check everything inside of you, whatever that's called.
MRI?
Yeah, sure. So they were going to put me in there, like, do you have any metal on you? And I'm like, go in my pockets. I was like, yeah, leave the room for a second. I hand my knife to my wife. I'm like, here, take this, take it home.
Oh man, when I did that, they like put you in your own like dressing room with like lockers and give you like a locker key.
Well, then I was like, oh shoot, I'm not supposed to have this with me, but my knife is like literally always on me.
The mouse does rule over all.
Yes.
Dude, it's my dad's been saying it since I was a kid, man. That damn the whole state's
although
gonna be
they went
Disney.
They went after the state went back after Disney for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, how's
didn't
that
they do
all
like some
played out?
tax credit? Yeah, like they went after their tax credit stuff.
I don't fucking know.
I think they backed down.
We have a Florida man, and he doesn't even follow state politics.
So
enough to
here's
let us know how the war.
here's the one I carry, the knife I carry. This
He
little
can't
guy.
even tell us how the war between
nice.
DeSantis and Disney is shaking out.
Well, just because it's
there
not,
you go.
I don't know. I don't believe anything's really that real. I think that there'd be a little bit of showboating or grandstanding on both sides, and then behind the scenes,
Really?
there'll be some sort of agreement.
So they're
They
playing
own-
politics, really?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? It's just that Disney's just so big. They like, at least last I'm aware of, they're like the biggest employer in Florida.
Yeah,
I mean, like they swing such a big dick. They have so much fucking land, and because it's not even just like the Disney like land and all the theme parks. They own as much land as that, just in like nature preserves to like
private
offset.
land,
What so that's just like nature preserves somewhere else in Florida. Then they own of course like tons of like housing, and like they're just fucking huge. I've got this book. I think I've talked about it before. It's a very small book. I got a used bookstore, and it's fuck, man, something about like the rat that ruled Florida or some shit. It's like the guy who wrote it, like bless his heart, like he just really hates Disney, and like he brings up like I'm sure there's plenty of really crazy shit that you can bring up about Disney. One of which he talks about the way that they bought the land to start Disney. It's kind of a fascinating story, this that, but he goes through like these examples of like something like that like happened at Disney and how like bad it was, and like by halfway through the story you're ready to be like fuck Disney, and then he's like, oh, but then it was this, so it kind of wasn't really their fault anyhow. And it's like, oh well, what the fuck are you getting me worked up for then, you know? Yeah. Like they brought like a rhinoceros over for like the animal exhibit, and the rhinoceros was there for like a week and like died, and they found that like I don't know, somehow a stick got like crammed up its ass and it killed it, like really strangely. And they're like, oh, they're mistreating animals. By the end of the fucking story, he's like, oh yeah, but then they determined that it happened before it got on the plane to come here. So it wasn't Disney's fault. Or like this tiger escaped and everyone was terrified of the tiger. And for like a week, this whole city was locked down. Turned out the tiger was only like 100 feet from where it escaped, like living under a tree or something, like never even went anywhere. Like, you know, I don't know. But it's like, I don't like Disney or whatever. The, you know, what.
That's one hell of a rich mouse, though. Like.
Yeah.
A similar but completely not similar story. One time a guy escaped from the county jail back home, and it turned out okay. So the escape was one of the people that was like hired to do janitorial
crawl up a rhinoceros's ass.
One of the people who was hired to do janitorial work in the jail forgot to lock one of the doors when they left, and like this guy was going from like the washroom to back to his cell or something and saw the door open, so he just walked out. And like there was a manhunt for this dude for like 6 hours. He was literally 2 blocks away. He went to his girlfriend's house, who literally lived 2 blocks from the jail, took a shower, sat down, ate supper, and then was watching the news. Like he didn't go anywhere. He didn't do anything. He just like
back to regular life.
Yeah, he just walked down. He just walked down the street to his girlfriend's house, took a shower, had supper, and was watching the news. And then like it popped up on the news that he was, you know, they had a inmate break out of the jail, and he was like, "Oh shit, they're like actually looking for him." And so then he walked back to the jail. Like walked.
Sorry, I thought it was just a free.
Just like walked up to the front door, like, "Hey, I'm back. Sorry."
Like I thought I had a pass. You know, like
the door was open. What are we supposed to do? Like stay here?
It's like when you watch like the bait cars on cops, and they're like, the keys were in it. Like that's like their explanation. The cops are like, so what? It doesn't mean you're allowed to take the fucking thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I know, but I still have a problem with the bait cars.
Yeah, I don't like bait anything. Like I don't like cops baiting anybody.
Yeah, I think that's like you're so bored. Maybe you should cut your budget.
Yeah,
give everybody a week's vacation.
It's just like
the bait vehicles. That's a private sector thing. That's what pranksters do. We have the bike that, you know, the seat, like you sit on the seat and the pole goes up your butt. Yeah.
I'm shocked that they don't get sued, though. I'm really shocked they're not getting.
I think they do it in other countries. I think that's how they get away with it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's America, because I wonder the same thing myself.
But to me, like the thing is like our jails must be different. Like because like one time we went and kind of did a tour when I was in high school of the prison or whatever, just to kind of, I forget what the whole thing. It was kind of like the anti-prison, like don't go to jail, kids, kind of thing. But we went and toured, and then they had like separate layers of like, you know, to try to make sure that people wouldn't get out. Like, hey, there's like a holding, you know, area that even if you got out of your jail cell, you're going to be stuck in the holding
that
area.
Depends. It's like, are we talking county jail, or are we talking state penitentiary, or are we talking
county.
like federal prison? Because is it the county prison, or is it just the county, like the county jail? There's a difference between jail and prison.
Jail's holding for trial or sentences less than a year, at least in Florida. Prison sentences more than a year, and there's different various. So like my dad used to work at a prison. He was maintenance, and he had a crew of guys. Some of them were in there for like murder and shit, but they'd load up in the prison van, and my dad, they drive around outside the fences. You know, they go from one section to another. Like, you know, I'd go stay at his place, and he lived like an apartment outside the prison. And I'd wake up in the morning, go outside to smoke a cigarette, and there'd just be a inmate out there washing cars, you know, washing the correction officer's cars, outside the fences. Like he could have just, But he's, the dude's fucking probably been there for 40 years, and he's fucking 70. Like, and every now and then, like, you got somebody who just walks off a work crew. But it is, you think, of course, in like movies, prison's always like maximum security, pound me in the ass, whatever prison. And it's like, no, a lot of the times they're just, they're just behind a chain link fence. But it just depends on level of threat, what they're in.
One like
for.
that jail there
Irish
back
must be
home,
funny.
they would get, it wasn't just a county jail. They would get people from all over the state that were finishing out terms and stuff. And they had like a work release program for them. They would bring them up to the school, to the bus garage, and they would help out in the bus garage. And one of the guys, they also brought him out. We did every year for Halloween, we did a haunted forest. And one year they brought him out and they helped us like set up the haunted forest and put everything. So like they're letting these guys like with no shackles or anything help us in the middle of the woods. Like they're really not very concerned about anybody like running off. So, but one of the guys that helped us do the haunted forest and put everything together for it, he would be at the school, and I notoriously didn't go to class when I was supposed to. So I would just be wandering the halls, and I remember it was a Friday, and he saw me, and he was like, "Hey, I get out on Monday." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Going back home." I was like, "Well, I hope I never see you again." Like, but he was in on like a drug charge or something dumb when he was young, and he had done his time in prison, and then he got to finish out in a county jail and get to go work at the bus garage and do stuff. And
make 14 cents an hour. Hell yeah.
It wasn't like it was a real obviously it wasn't a real like lockdown strict jail.
Yeah. If you go to the dump here, you'll have inmates help you unload the shit. Like they'll have dudes like working out at the dump. I was at a place for my job the other day, working on a piece of machinery. And when I pulled up, the guy's like, "Just keep your car locked. 'Cause we got some inmates around here." Like, just, he's like, when you're not around your car, just keep it locked. Oh, okay. I couldn't even tell who was who.
And I mean, honestly, I trusted leaving my wallet, and like, cause some of those guys from the jail would come out to the weight room. Like me and a buddy would go out during the summer and lift weights in the weight room, and they'd see us out there and they'd be like, "Hey, can we come lift with you?" And like, "Yeah, sure." And we have all of our like wallets and keys and everything in there, being there lifting. We go into the school to like wash up after we got done, and another buddy went with us one day. He's like, "Y'all aren't grabbing your stuff?" It's like, I trust these guys more than I trust most of the people we go to school with. I'm like, they're like, we lift with them.
Now that I can understand.
We lift with these guys 2 or 3 times a week. Like, we know their life stories. We hang out with them and talk to them and lift weights with them. Like, they're not stealing our shit. Like, the people that we actually go to school with, I don't trust a single one of them motherfuckers. I'm gonna lock all my shit up around them, though.
Yeah, that sentiment I can understand, because I at least how my high school was too. It'd be like you leave your stuff out, people are gonna dick with it one way or another. Sometimes
What do you guys think?
Which is disgusting.
What do you guys think the odds are in this? 500 students and 15 sets of twins.
Good God, that's insane.
No
What's in the water
clue.
there?
Hopefully,
Yeah, that's
different families.
Hempstead.
There's a couple-
That's what's in the water.
There's a couple different instances of this, and what I've noticed is that one's in New York. Let's see, then there's this one was in Maryland. Oh, here's one in Illinois. Oh, it's a Guinness Book of World Records, 44 twin pairs and a set of triplets in 2017. But out of only 500
Wouldn't it-
students, that's crazy.
Wouldn't it be terrible to find out that like part of the reason that there's so many twins is that the wives are cheating with one different guy?
Yeah, like one guy has the genetics for twins, and he's just like been knocking up all these chicks.
You guys didn't take biology in high school, did you?
Oh yeah, no, we did.
This is like an X-Files episode, is what this is like. This is like the government was doing some sort of experiment in this town, fucking 18 years ago or some shit. Got the twins churning out.
That's why the one guy, he got something radioactive. It messed with his DNA.
But twins come from the mom. They either release 2 eggs or the egg splits. Well, okay, hold on. I guess if they are identical, which it does say a lot of these are,
Hey,
that it is the
that's
egg
actually-
splitting. which I guess
that's actually incorrect, Nick. There is a way to. I actually just read something on this the other day that you can have multiple sperm, actually interact with multiple eggs. So yes, that can
right,
happen.
but multiple eggs have to be released. That's the thing. It's typically one egg is released, but in the
Per
instance
cycle,
of fraternal
yeah.
twins, a couple eggs would be released. Which that's a yes, and that is 2 sperms. Yeah, that's fraternal twins. And identicals when the single egg like splits. But then I guess that could be. I guess you could make an argument that's something to do with the sperm. Radioactive super sperm could cause an egg to mutate and become identical twins. Okay,
It's from the clot shot.
You got. Yeah, you got me in our fake scenario. I'll accept. I'll concede.
Now we just blame everything on the clot shot. Everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Too many people died. Too many people lived. Now twins.
Everyone's gay and retarded.
That wasn't 18 years
story,
ago, though, Steve.
Oh.
Maybe in
18 years ago. What happened 18 years ago? Hold on. We got to think.
9/11? Oh,
no.
Dude. So this is a perfect time to bring this up. Actually, I told you guys that I've been watching the old Saturday Night Lives from 9/11 era from 2001 and whatnot. I'm in the 2002s now, and so fuck, man, the war propaganda that might be making its rounds again. Like the exact same war propaganda is very interesting. But one of the things that I thought was so fucking funny. They were talking about the possibility of invading Iraq, and they were really trying to convince us to do it. Oh, Al Gore guest on the recent one I watched, which is crazy. We had John McCain and Al Gore. But they're like, experts estimate, because they're saying how, like, oh man, we don't want to go in there because it might cost $20 to $50 billion to do Iraq, guys. That's what they were afraid it was going to cost, was a whopping $20 to $50 billion for the war in the Middle East. What is it, like? How many trillions? Or we're multiple trillions now, right?
Oh yeah, we're way.
Say, isn't the national debt 34 trillion? So
yeah. But I just spent on the terror wars. But
oh
yeah,
no, there was actually, I don't know. Did I share it in the group chat? Let me see if I did.
we gave multiple times what they're talking about to fucking Ukraine. $50 billion. Didn't we give them like 3 times that?
Right, on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Let's now share it in this group chat. Let me see if I can find that graphic. There's a graphic of every 12 years or so, something like that. The war, like the solar. Oh no, I bookmarked it. I didn't share it. But there's the on this. But it's like every time that there's solar, some type of solar activity. There's a. Oh man, I can't find it now. There's like solar activity. Yeah, solar flares related to war in the Middle East.
I'm just wondering how much this costs. So, the B-2 bomber pilots had toilets, microwaves, and a cooler for snacks on their 37-hour Fordro bombing raid. The comment on this,
Yeti or nothing.
The comment on this is my favorite thing, though. Imagine having a freshly microwaved pepperoni hot pocket, bombing the sand people, then taking a victory shit and flying home. It's like that almost makes it all right. Like when you can bring some light to the whole bombing thing, it warms my heart. Thank you.
I wonder if that includes the woman though. But the here's the graphic that I was looking for. So apparently, U.S. intervention in the Middle East is correlated to an 11-year solar cycle of sunspot activity. So this is the graph. It's like there's like Iran hostage crisis, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and Syria, and then Iran. Like
so, maybe the sunspots make our politicians crazy, and then they decide to go bomb shit.
Yeah. That's a working theory. At least.
The lizard people are adversely affected by the sunspots. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit! All of the conspiracy theories are coming to.
It does, or it's some sort of signal to go forward with the next phase of the plan. Like we have to hit it during the sunspots. I know. Wow, I don't know that causes more questions than answers with that little tidbit, Trey. Damn it!
Right now I feel like there's this whole rabbit hole we need to
mute this whole time.
I feel like there's this new rabbit hole about the like with the sunspots and the lizard people
and the reverse vampires.
we need to like dig into.
Under the supervision of the vampire.
Wait, reverse vampires? What's that?
Don't you remember the Simpsons episode?
So Homer and Grandpa whip up some of Grandpa's old aphrodisiac sex elixir or whatever, and they start selling it. So all the adults in town are fucking a lot, and the kids can't figure out what's going on while the parents are never around, and they're being real weird, and they're kicking them out of the house all the time. And so they come up with these big conspiracy theories about.
Oh, you got to find that, Dag. Post it real quick. Go back to that airplane in India that crashed. So, I saw a thing on here saying that this concrete must be the best concrete in the world because this plane crashes into this building and it doesn't collapse.
It's just sitting gingerly on top of it. It needs some office wires.
But Building 7 collapsed in New York when that happened.
I just see we're on the same page.
I thought you would like that, Dag.
What do you guys think about dog surfing? I feel like when I see videos of it, like half the dogs look like they're really into it, and half the dogs just look terrified.
Like that one?
Yeah, like they're forced upon it.
Well, look at you ever see the dog skateboarding?
Yeah, like when they push, like
Yeah.
that's dope. When you see it, they just put a dog on a skateboard and push it down the stairs. I'm like, ah. But when the dog gets off, does some pushes and hops back on, I'm like, okay, that's voluntary. It knows what it's doing.
Yep.
No, look at that old boy. See the like golden retrievers. Like these guys look like they're into it.
Yeah.
The Labradors or whatever. Oh, look at that stinker. Yeah, it's sweet. You got to get yourself some dog surfing photo jobs, Steve.
I know. I need to. That would be.
They probably pay well.
They probably do, man. Probably pay better than the freaking weddings I've been taking lately.
I only
Those
want
dog
to pay
nerds
you
got some money.
$20.
Oh my
to
god,
shoot my whole wedding.
dude! I seriously, some people.
You ever done dog shoots like in general? Like somebody wants you to come do a photo shoot of their dog for?
No, but I did last year. I shot some goats for a lady that she does goat milk soap,
Oh, neat.
and this year we're gonna go do it again. So
That's cool. It's like businessy for her, like website and stuff.
yeah, yep.
It's good pictures.
Did you see the video of the dude in Florida that went to his neighbor's house at 5 a.m. to show him the Stanley Cup? This is a doorbell ring. The ring doorbell one. Yeah, one of the guys in the Panthers went to his neighbor at 5 a.m.
Fuck yeah! If I'm on the championship, the Stanley Cup winning team, and I get the cup for a week, I'm taking that bitch everywhere I go. I'm gonna knock on everybody's door, random ass strangers. I'm just gonna be like, knock on the door. Hey, look what I got, motherfucker! And they'll be like, wait, you live in our neighborhood? What the fuck?
Dude, I didn't know there was two hockey teams in Florida.
I did see that thing once when the Red Wings won it.
Not only are there hockey teams in Florida, the number of hockey teams in Florida that have won the Stanley Cup is fucking insane. Like y'all don't even have ice in Florida, but somehow y'all win fucking Stanley Cups, and yet Canada.
It's crazy that we crush hockey,
dude. Could you imagine that?
Canada can't even win the sport they created. Like, what the fuck's wrong with them?
Could you imagine the bill for that? Keep that place refrigerated. That building. My God, that's got to be insane.
Dude, it's probably in the
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. They've got to win Stanley Cups so they can make enough money to keep the ice frozen.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. I've seen like a bunch of concerts at the whatever. It's always the Ice Palace to me, but I think it's the Amalie Arena now. But where they play hockey. Dude, I've been in they cover up the ice, do concerts on top of it. I've been to the circus there, dude. They did the circus on top of the ice.
Wow.
Circuses are weird.
Yeah, they're
just weird freaking people. Now, okay, so you guys got to go back and watch. There's a 70s vampire movie about there's circus freaks in it. I got to find the name of that. I'll send that to you. But yes, I mean, circus people are freaking weird, man.
We're
you
through
kinda
the
have to be.
looking glass here,
Like-
people.
What'd you pull up,
Here.
Steve? Play it.
Damn it. Where's the volume?
New house. So finally, we're all in agreement
Full
about
screen
what's going on with the adults. New house. Okay, here's what we've got. The Rand Corporation, in conjunction with the Saucer People, thank you, under the supervision of the reverse vampires, are forcing our parents to go to bed early in a fiendish plot to eliminate the meal of dinner. We're through the looking glass here, people.
That's I love that one. I used to have a shirt with that, where he's pointing out all the people on the board. I used to have that T-shirt.
See, I guess that's the predecessor to the Charlie, you know, Sunny Philadelphia thing.
Yeah, I've never seen that show. I need to watch that show.
It's average. I wouldn't say it's like great. Like some people like really like it, but I don't know. Sunny in Philadelphia is kind of one of those. Man,
It's
shows that
always
there's-
sunny. Depends on the viewer, and it depends on the episode, and it depends on how many episodes of It's Always Sunny you've watched prior to that episode. It's like
Yes.
that's one of those shows that I cannot binge. If I try to binge it, I get like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I hate everybody, and I'm ready to kill everything. But
It's someone killing.
if I sit down and I watch 1 or 2, I will laugh my ass off, and then I have to turn it off because once I get past that point, I'm going to start getting annoyed with the characters and everything
See,
about it.
that's kind of the way I feel about Seinfeld. Seinfeld, like everybody on that show is insufferable, like just absolutely awful people.
But that's
So-
that, to me.
I
That's
know
the
it's just
charm
that-
of Seinfeld.
I know that's
the charm.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the charm of Seinfeld. It's like everybody's insufferable, but like Sunny is like it's weird. It's a little bit different to me personally. The way that I see it is that I could binge all of Seinfeld, but Sunny, like Justin's saying, is like you just don't like the characters unless you just see them in the context of like 1 or 2 episodes.
Well,
Are we in a?
they are
Go on.
all inherently unlikable. Like that's the thing about it is like
Are we all in agreement though that Friends is the worst show ever made?
yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
I hate that show.
But, like,
that was the
all of
gayest
the-
show ever.
All of the characters on It's Always Sunny are inherently unlikable. So like it's
Yeah.
funny because of some of the dumb shit that they do and
Yeah.
how dumb they are and on how unlikable they are. But like any decent human being can only handle so much of that before you're just like, these people are terrible. They should all be executed.
Now, did you guys
They're
ever
so
watch?
confident.
Did you guys ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
That's another one of those
Yeah.
that I can only watch a couple episodes.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get through some episodes. Like he
Yeah,
is so bad.
some episodes themselves, I just have to like nope out on halfway through. It's like, all right, let's go to the next one. Maybe it'll be better.
The
I love that show though. Did you ever see the one where he has the kamikaze pilot that lives in the old folks home, and he's like, how could you be a kamikaze pilot when you're living? Like you weren't a kamikaze. He just totally trashes the guy.
yeah, like you're terrible.
Yeah,
at
CD,
your
you're
job.
right.
See, Parks and Rec is like that too to me. They're like, oh man, you guys suck.
I have not ever watched that show either. I've watched clips of it, but never a whole show.
I like Parks and Rec. That was good.
I like it too, but I think it's one of those that you can't binge. Yeah.
Yes, Parks and like Community. I can sit down and watch all 5 seasons of Community back to back to back to back to back and not stop. But Parks and Rec, I can only get through about 4 episodes at a time, and then I'm like, all right, I need something else.
Did you guys ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
That's another one of those that are really hit and miss. Like the good episodes are so good, and the bad episodes are so bad.
Yeah, but the first season was great.
Yes.
The second season was awful, just god awful. But they should have ended the first season. But the one where they're like teaching them how to be racist, or the guy called them racist because the Indian was like going after them with racist comments. Remember that one? That one was great. Some of the songs were great. Some of the songs were eh.
Hang on. There's one song that is fantastic.
Mother Ucker was wonderful.
If I can get it to pull up. Stupid fucking thing.
Maybe. Just have awkward silence while we're waiting.
Yeah. I caught up and petting the dog.
The biggest show killer. Awkward
Yeah.
silence.
Sorry,
Our one fan will take off.
Sorry, I got it to pull up and then it played this fucking ad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dumb
Dude,
shit.
even I don't know if you've noticed, but even Facebook has ads now in videos. Like they'll cut the video in half with an ad. It's just so bloody annoying.
Oh, this is the wrong one. I need the actual like show video, not
Great
just
producing there.
not just a music video. What the fuck, dude? You gave me the wrong one.
Well, you know that's a YouTube should be prosecuted for its war crimes, similar to. I was gonna play something. I don't know what
slow speed chase.
Yeah, you guys see this in South Carolina?
This is awesome.
What is even? Are they just trying to get the guy in the?
Oh, there's a video of a guy.
Was he killdosing it or?
It looks like he's just going, dude. I mean,
there's
not
a
really
video
going
of
anywhere.
a guy stealing one of these.
Steve, if I was a cop, I would not get in front of that.
And when the cops like come up and try to get him to stop, he swings the bucket around and like flips the cop car and then starts driving off.
I remember that one. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that dude was like, I am just going for a joyride. Don't fuck with me. Like,
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, what are you
I'm
gonna
gonna take
do?
this.
You can't
Let's
shoot
say
the
for any
tires
reason-
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I just wait till it runs out of gas. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
No,
Those things
okay.
run forever. They're diesels.
that Komatsu uses the same key that every piece of Komatsu equipment has used since '97. There's one
Wow.
key for every piece of Komatsu equipment. Just saying. There might even be a set for $16 on Amazon that you can get 42
What?
equipment keys for all sorts of brands of heavy equipment because they all use just one key. Not
Just
for
in case
like
you
a
were
product,
wondering.
but each brand has like its own key. So for like $14, you can get a ring of keys that will operate pretty much any piece of heavy equipment you see.
Is that why they put GPSs in those things, Dag?
Part of the reason? Yes.
Have I told you about the facility? A company I used to work for had a facility in West Memphis, and we would
Well,
ship
that's a
stuff to
terrible
them.
idea.
We would ship stuff to them every day, and so I would call the manager in the morning and be like, "Hey, how many loads can we send to you?" And one day he said, "None. We don't have any computers. Somebody broke in and stole all the computers out of the whole fucking building." And then
I remember
one morning I called, so
Yeah.
that was interesting. The one morning I called and I was like, "Hey, how many loads can I send you?" He said, "I don't know. Let me call you back in about 30 minutes." He's like, "Okay." 2 hours later, he calls me back, and he said, "Somebody broke in, stole one of the lifts or one of the telehandlers, drove it through the fence, drove it out into the woods, and then just leaves it on some railroad tracks." So they
Oh, God.
follow the path of this thing and find it sitting on the railroad tracks. So they go back, they call to have a tow truck come in to pick it up. When the tow truck gets there, it's gone. Somebody else came, saw it sitting on the railroad tracks, took it and drove off with it, and drove it off and like parked it in a fucking ditch somewhere. So like they have been like spending the whole morning trying to figure out where this fucking telehandler had been taken off to. It was kind of fucking hilarious. But just drove, like jumped the fence, got in this thing and drove it straight through the fence off into the woods and then just parked it on some railroad tracks and said, "Fuck it."
No
And then
kids.
somebody else steals it while they're waiting for the tow truck to come pick it up.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
You get a lot of
And I
mess
was
out of those.
I was like, if somebody else stole it, why didn't you just like drive it back to the fucking facility? Why'd you call a tow truck to come like I guess they didn't think that they could get it off the railroad tracks, and then so probably some dumbass kid that didn't know that you probably shouldn't try to drive it off the railroad tracks. They're just like, "Hey, let's run off and drive this thing."
Let's make questionable decisions.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like one country in the Middle East. Apparently, just in Israel to end its war with Iran soon.
Oh
Wall
yeah,
Street's
they get us to go to war so they can end their own. That's like they. All right, I got the video. Here we go.
Nice.
The best Flight of the Conchords song in my personal opinion.
Yes, this is an awesome song. The whole wide room.
Yeah. Look around the room. I can tell that you are the most beautiful girl in the room. In the whole wide room. And when you're on the street, depending on the street, I bet you were definitely in the top 3. Good looking girls on the street. Depending on the street. When I saw you at my mate's place, I thought, what is she doing? At my mate's place, how did they get a hottie like that to a party like it's good one, Dave? Ooh, you're a legend, Dave. I asked Dave if he's gonna make a move on you. He's not sure. I said, Dave, do you mind if I do? He says it doesn't mind, but I can tell it kinda minds. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I see you standing all alone by the stereo. I dim the lights down to very low. You're so beautiful. You could be a waitress. You're so beautiful. You could be air hostess in the 60s. You're so beautiful. Well, you could be a part-time model.
Part-time
And then I seal the deal. I do my moves, I do my dance moves.
You could be a part-time model, but have a regular job the other part of the time.
The air stewardess in the 60s. Oh, shit. All right. So
CD knows what we're talking about. Hell yeah.
the song for all you gettable women out there. Oh, yep.
Them high 6s to mid 7s.
It really is a sweet spot.
Yeah, you know, anything else, and you're probably going to deal with someone a little
You can
bit
do it!
retarded.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.